Live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots, you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me. First, there are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Celebrating today. It is National Hydration Day, so I do have my hydration flask in front, my hydration cup. Never know what's in an opaque cup. I think it's water. Oh, well. National Pecan Sandies Day. I don't know. It doesn't look so exciting to me, but, you know, a cookie's a cookie. The American Food Holiday is observed annually, offers bakers and cookie lovers a chance to enjoy a classic cookie. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up right now 253 points. The S&P 500 up 3176. NASDAQ up 134.40. Does the NASDAQ ever stop going up? Well, thank goodness some of us are happy that it is going up. But it's all about those basically 5 or 6 stocks. Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, Google. That's about all of them that count right now. Yes, I know Tesla's going crazy. Probably will continue to go crazy. But that one's pretty volatile. Oil up 21 cents per barrel. The pricing on oil, I guess we've seen some prices going on there as well. 214.1 is the national average gallon of gasoline, up from 213.1 yesterday. Venezuela still the second highest in the country, 305.1. But our taxes, we might catch Hawaii next week or the week after with more tax increases. And we still looked at Mississippi, 178.2. They are the cheapest in the land, 178.2 in Mississippi. Venezuela still number 2 highest priced gasoline. They are the highest price for sure in the continental United States by a lot, over 10%. It looks like the next closest is about 10-15% lower than Venezuela. So, yeah, we just like to continue, and we'll keep on voting for the people to tax us significantly. Let's see what else is going on. The rates, 10-year Treasury up about 2 basis points, 0.724. Germany down 43 basis points. Germany's up 3 basis points, but they're still at a negative 0.437. Japan is giving you a whopping 1 basis point is your yield in Japan if you're looking at their 10-year Treasury. So it's not a good day, good time to be in those bond markets. They just don't pay anything right now. But you know something? It is safety. There are people that are saying, you know something, I'd rather make sure that at the end of the day I get my money back. They're not so concerned with the idea of how much money they're going to get. They just want to make sure they don't lose money. And I can understand that. There are those folks that are just fearful, right? They worry about the idea of the markets being overdone. Are they going to take another big drop like they did a couple of months ago? I'm going to suggest, who knows, because they've gone up a lot lately. So there could be some downside risk. Markets never go straight in one direction or the other. Let's take a look at what's going on in the rundown today. There's a lot going on in the news. We'll see what we can find that might be of interest to you. More statues being demolished and destroyed. President Trump announces forthcoming executive order to make the cities guard their monuments. President Trump said Monday that he'll soon issue an executive order meant to protect public statues and monuments from being damaged or destroyed by far left and anarchist protesters. When you start looking at what's being destroyed, it has nothing to do with black rights, civil rights of any sort. So it's just a matter of people that are not respecting other people's property. We'll just hopefully they'll get something going on there to solve the problem. Chicago or Seattle, I guess it is. Seattle says they're going to dismantle that chop zone where now 2 nights in a row there have been shootings and the police are not allowed to go in there. So we'll see what happens if the mayor of Seattle does anything about that. That's Jenny Durkin, announced Monday, signaling that a stunning chapter in the city's history could be drawing to a close. The mayor said the violence was distracting from changes sought by thousands of peaceful protesters seeking to address racial inequality and police brutality. Activists set up CHOP, the city's Capitol Hill neighborhood, about 2 weeks ago, barricading off the area after police evacuated a ransacked precinct building there. Unbelievable. Ben Shapiro slams the Seattle CHOP denizens after shooting, saying protests are only about castigating the system. That's a fascinating story right there. Jimmy Kimmel in trouble because use of the N-word in the 1990s, 1996, when imitating Snoop Dogg for a Christmas song. In the same interview, the comic imitated black comedian George Wallace by altering his speech pattern. Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian. I am not fond of him, but you know something? That's what comedians do, is they make fun of everybody. If we're going to allow the usage of these terms in rap songs, they should be allowed for everybody. There should not be a different set of rules for one group versus another. I'm just throwing that out there as my opinion. Moving right along, what do we watch? What else are we watching? And you know something? I should give you the whole background because, as you know, I do hire a private news service. I've talked about that before. And through our private news service, we do get a lot of information that does help us with giving you the straight scoop. So we got the information from our news service and talking about what's really going on. What is the Black Lives Matter movement? And I'm going to be sharing some information on a social channel this morning that they should rename it because it really is not Black Lives Matter. Some people wanted to say All Lives Matter. I suggest that this whole movement should be retitled Some Black Lives Matter because they really don't care about all Black lives. They're only concerned about some. They're only concerned about a small group. That's not what it should be. It should be about dealing with a problem that's out in society. And I'm suggesting that, you know, we really don't care. Most of the agitators out there don't do their homework. They don't find out exactly what's going on out there, because if they did, we would see a lot of protests right now in Chicago, right? Because in Chicago, we had 102 people over the weekend shot, 14 killed, 5 kids. One was a 3-year-old little boy sitting in a car driving with his father. Did you hear that in the news anywhere? Are they going over that? Are they really focused on those 102 black people that were shot in Chicago? Got a black mayor, you got a white governor doing absolutely nothing to protect these folks. But we don't see the Black Lives Matter movement going out there and doing anything to solve the problem either, or to even address the problem, or even to bring light to the problem. But when Tim Scott, a black senator, tries to solve the problem, the Democrats say, no, we are not involved in that. We don't want to get involved. We're not going to support solutions, because the solutions are not. I just saw this morning that Los Angeles is looking at reducing the police force. Now, when you start seeing some of these shootings and lootings, do you think reducing the police force is going to be the solution? Now, why do I talk about this on a home and finance show? It's because Do you think people are going to want to be buying houses in those areas? Do you think people are going to want to be moving into those areas where they know that there's all kinds of problems like this? I suggest probably not. People are not going to want to be investing. Do you think that the business owners, and I saw LeBron James and several other celebrities and athletes, are putting together a fund to help the rioters? Really? Who's putting together the fund to help the people that they demolished their businesses, their life savings? And yeah, I heard one of the agitators come out and say, well, they've got insurance. How do you know that? Some don't have insurance. There are some areas that insurance does not cover rioting, so they may not even see any money from the insurance companies. So don't say that, it's just a matter of getting the insurance and they'll be fine, because we don't know that. And I will be sharing the names of the professional agitators that are out there putting the money out to continue this disruption. It's basically a Marxist, socialist type process where they're really just looking for the idea of creating anarchy. And it's being funded by George Soros. We've talked about that before. $33 million coming from his Open Society Foundation to the BLM movement. Keeps three ladies live and pretty large. The first lady, Alicia Garza, 39 years old, from Oakland. Miss Garza is a Marxist. The second lady, Patrice Cullors, 36 years old, based in Los Angeles. She's a Marxist. Third lady, Opal Tometi, 36 years old. All of them, they're part of, she's the executive director of the Black Alliance for Just Immigration. Black Alliance for Just Immigration. Front group for the socialists and Marxist group, Freedom Road Socialist Organizations. So all three of these ladies are Marxists. If you don't believe me, let's get their own words from Patrice Cullors in an interview 2015. Quote, myself and Alicia, that's Alicia Garza, quote, in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on ideological theories, unquote. So the three founders, they continue to be involved in the Black Lives Matter movement, are Marxists. Did you know that? Anybody telling you that? Yes, our private news service does give us that information to bring to you. So if you think this is all just grassroots, well, it's pretty well organized, and they have an idea of what they're doing and what kind of trouble they are trying to cause. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets when we come back. What are the experts saying about future home prices, ways to prepare your finances for a recession? Is now the right time to refinance? 2 things to consider, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO-certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. Again, 800-306-1990. 1990. Let's take a look at what the markets are doing today. I like to look at those for you all the time. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 208 points. NASDAQ up 129. The S&P 500 up 31.97. 10-year Treasury, the yield, that is the interest rate, up 2 basis points to 0.72. Mortgage-backed securities, those are up. The bond itself up 3 basis points, means interest rates are down just a little bit. So we watch that. Now, why is all of that happening? That's the question that we provide the answers to. Well, it got a rocky road this morning just because of comments that Peter Navarro made last night saying that the U.S.-China trade deal was over. Sent the S&P futures on a wild ride. About 3 hours later, President Trump tweeted that the China deal is fully intact. Hopefully, they will continue to live up to the terms of the agreement. This morning, Peter Navarro clarified that the U.S.-China trade deal is not over. As a result, stocks are higher. They were up over 300 points earlier today. Chief economist of the MBA, Michael Fratantoni, said the combined lending for home purchases and refinances will likely total $2.65 trillion this year, evenly split and the most since the $2.74 trillion seen 14 years ago. As we've been saying, we are optimistic as well and feel there is enough refinance business to keep us busier than we know what to do with over the next several years. Additionally, we have seen a nice bounce back in purchases, but we have to temper that just a little because a good portion of this bounce back has to be pent-up demand from a normally hot spring season that got pushed back due to COVID-19. Once we get past this, it'll be important to see what the levels of demand persist. CFPB may remove DTI requirements for qualified mortgages. The QM patch that allows debt-to-income ratios to exceed 43% is set to expire in 2021 because this has already been in place with a patch. There's lobbying taking place so that the CFPB removes the requirement. Without the patch, debt-to-income ratios that exceed 43% will not be qualified and cannot be bought by Fannie or Freddie, according to CoreLogic. The QM patch accounted for 16% of all mortgage originations in 2018, or $2.6 billion in loans. The patch disproportionately serves minority and low-income borrowers who would not qualify otherwise, according to the Urban Institute. There is talk of a new methodology where, as long as the APR is below the average prime offer rate by a certain threshold, the mortgage would be qualified. Some numbers thrown out were 2% below the average prime offer rate, which is about 3.36 right now. So we've been watching that number for you. Let's see if we've got our national new home sales was due out a little earlier. I haven't seen if that has come across my screen yet, but we're going to see if we can get that for you quickly. New home sales, that's a good measure because we've had some pent-up demand there also. So we're always watching where these numbers are coming from just to see, are people buying new homes? Do they like the new homes? Do they not like the new homes? Where's the most interest? And we consistently want to see that information just because, are they looking for existing homes? We know that the condo sales are dipping a bit. People are wanting their standalone homes. That's the big issue. And why is that? Well, they're trying to get out of the area, or the idea of being out in the big cities, where we've seen, quite honestly, that's where we saw a lot of the mass COVID cases, is when people are stacked up on top of one another. That's been where some of the problems have been, and you just have to be careful of that information. So we throw that out there. We got the PMI composite flash for June increased to 46.8 from May's 36.4, which was higher than expectations of 45. We saw that one. New home sales measured signed contracts on new homes increased by 16.6% in May at a 676,000 unit annualized pace. Additionally, April's figure was revised lower to 580,000 from the previously reported 623,000 units. Inventory of new homes on the market decreased from 325,000 to 318,000, while the median new home price increased 4.9%. And the national number there is 317,000. Again, that does not necessarily reflect California, Southern California especially, because our prices are significantly higher in many areas. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the phone call. So being that we're talking about mortgages, and I hear a lot of folks calling, I get a ton of calls talking about some teaser rates that are being advertised on TV and on the radio from a couple of companies. And I always recommend, whenever you hear some of these teaser rates that sound too good to be true, check them out further, find out what they're actually offering, and are all the numbers that they're saying applying to the same loan. In many instances, they'll say, well, you can get a 2.75% 30-year fixed rate loan. And then in the next sentence, they'll say, refinance with no points, no fees. But that doesn't necessarily mean it applied back to the 2.75. That 2.75 might have been that it was only for a purchase loan, 50% debt to income rate or loan to value, with a very, very high FICO above 780. Most people are not in that range. Very, very low debt to income ratio. Not the average person. So I frequently say, watch what it is for the average person. Now, I want to talk a little bit to you about the right time to refinance and some things to consider. I will tell you this, I've said it many, many times before. Home loan strategy beats rate every time. Home loan strategy beats the rate every single time. With everything that's been going on in the world, interest rates have dropped dramatically. For some people, that might mean it's the perfect time to refinance. So does refinancing make sense for you? Two critical things to consider when making that decision are, one, what FICO scores, and will they help you qualify for the great rates currently offered? Sure, the rates might be low right now, but if your credit scores are also low, you won't be able to enjoy those rates. Know the actual rate you'll be getting. The prime rate is the rate you'll see advertised. It's based on federal funds rate, which is the interest rate banks charge other banks. The mortgage rate is the interest rate a lender charges a home buyer. That's the rate you will pay when refinancing. Be sure to know your mortgage rate before making any decisions. And you have to understand that there are about 37 different factors that go into the home loan rate. 37 factors. Costs. Refinancing isn't free. If you decide to refinance, you probably based much of that decision on the savings you'll enjoy over the course of the loan. Remember that the savings you calculated are most likely gross, not net. There's more math in the equation than meets the eye. For example, consider the number of months you have remaining on your existing mortgage versus the number of months you'll be paying off your refinanced mortgage. Even if you get a lower mortgage rate, extending the length of time to pay it off could cancel out any savings. A loan origination fee is typically charged by lenders to analyze, prepare, and properly submit your loan. This fee of 0.5% to 2% of your loan amount will eat into the money you're expecting to save on your refinanced loan. Just on the side here, Siegel Lending Team, there are no lender fees. So if you're called one of our private clients, you already know that. If you're not one of the private clients, why not? Once you add up the cost, take into consideration another well-known rule of thumb. One should refinance when interest savings cover the loan costs in 2 years or less. Will this be true for you? Just something else to think about when making that should I or shouldn't I refinance decision. The final equation, okay? So you've done your research, determined whether or not to cash some equity out of your home, and now it is time to make the decision, refinance or not. You can use a simple formula to calculate how long it should take to amortize the refinance cost before you break even, and your savings can start. It's refinance cost divided by monthly savings with the new mortgage payment equals the number of months before break-even point. If you want better answers on that, just let us take over and adopt your mortgage. You don't necessarily need to do anything with our team. Just say, hey, we want you to adopt the mortgage. Take a look at this. Send over a mortgage statement. Tell us what you think your FICO scores are and a method of getting back to you, ideally an email and cell phone number. For example, if your refinance costs are $5,000, a lot of money, and you're saving $350 per month with your new mortgage payment, it'll take 14 months to break even. If you're planning on staying in your home for another 14 months, if yes, refinancing could make sense. If no, refinancing might not be the best way to go. Of course, FICO offers a great resource to help you come to an informed conclusion on the issue. I'm going to go with myfico.com. That is a big issue, myfico.com. That's what I use to keep track of the credit scores for our family. Cash out refinancing during the pandemic. During the coronavirus pandemic, many people are considering taking cash out of their home's equity to pay for upcoming financial shortfalls. Is that a good idea or a bad one? For some, this could be a good move because it'll help pay bills while maintaining their credit scores. For others, it could lead because they'll be putting their home equity on the line. If their income takes a hit for a long period and they don't have savings to fill the gap, the bank could foreclose on their home. With a cash out refinance, your loan is replaced with a new one at an amount higher than your current loan balance. You can then withdraw the difference between the two mortgages and use the money to assist you through the rough financial patch. When we come back, I want to talk to you about some financing terms, some mortgage financing terms. So we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we will also get into, I've got a couple of rundown items here for you. What are the experts saying about future home prices? Way to prepare for your finances for a recession. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
House in the middle of
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest, SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. If you've already found your dream home, wonderful. Go get the digest. It'll tell you exactly what the county recorder knows about your property. It'll tell you exactly what the market believes about your property. Again, SLT Home Digest. Text that to 79564. Free tool from Ron Siegel Radio. So, wow, that's interesting. There it is. Okay, what are the experts saying about future home prices? And I will have a full report on that tomorrow. I've got a copy of the Chapman University Economic Forecast. It's been embargoed. It's being presented this afternoon virtually from Chapman University. We get some great information from Chapman every single year, so we're always excited to get that and provide it. A worldwide pandemic, though, and an economic recession have had a tremendous effect on the nation. The uncertainty brought about by both has made predicting consumer behavior nearly impossible. For that reason, forecasting home prices has become extremely difficult. Normally, there's a simple formula to determine the future price of any item. Calculate the supply of that item in ratio to demand for that item. supply of the item in ratio to demand for the item. In housing right now, demand far exceeds supply. Mortgage applications to buy a home just rose to the highest levels in 11 years, while inventory of homes for sale is at or near an all-time low. That would usually indicate strong appreciation for home values as we move throughout the year. Some experts, however, are not convinced the current rush of purchasers is sustainable. Ralph McLaughlin, chief economist at Haas, explained in their June 2020 housing market forecast why there is concern, and I quote, "The upswing that we'll see this summer is a result of pent-up demand from home buyers and supply in progress from home builders that has simply been pushed off for a few months. However, after this pent-up demand goes away, the true economic scarring due to the pandemic will begin to affect the housing market as the tide of pent-up demand goes out," unquote. The virus and other challenges currently impacting the industry have created a wide range of thoughts regarding the future of home prices. Here's a list of analysts and their projections from the lowest depreciation to the highest appreciation. CoreLogic, year-over-year decline of 1.5%. Haas, year-over-year decline of 1%. Zillow, year-over-year change in forecasted to bottom out at negative 0.7%. Home Price Expectation Survey, decline of 0.3% in 2020. Fannie Mae, increase of 0.4% 2020. Freddie Mac, increase of 2.3% in 2020. Zelman and Associates, increase of 3% in 2020. National Association of Realtors, increase of 3.8% in 2020. Mortgage Bankers Association, an increase of 4% in 2020. Garner two important points from this list. Number one, there is no real consensus among the experts. Number two, no one projects prices to crash like they did in 2008. Pretty obvious right there. Bottom line, if you're thinking of buying a home or selling your house, know that prices will not change dramatically this year, even with all the uncertainty we faced in 2020. Now, here's the big issue, because I'm going to share with you, this report is one that we were able to obtain, and I'm going to give you a little bit of additional information as well. The additional information is pretty simple. There's a lot of pent-up demand. There's a lot of people that have requested mortgage forbearance on their payments. There's a lot of question marks. Are those people going to ever be able to come back and cover their mortgages? So will a lot of supply come after the mortgage forbearance program ceases? I'm going to tell you that what is the harm? There's two schools of thought. One school is, you know something, it's your house. There are many reasons beyond finance to buy a new home. Schools, proximity to work, security, interest rates are unbelievably low right now, affordability. All those items are great reasons to buy right now. So when you look at this total picture here, you're looking at the most pessimistic forecast is a negative 1.5%. The most optimistic is 4% positive. Not huge differences. So if you're thinking of buying, does it matter really whether you wait or buy right now? It's more important to look at what is important. Is the desire to have the right school for your kids, is that more important? What is it that you're looking for? What are you looking to accomplish? Everybody has their own idea of what they're looking to accomplish. And is that saving of 1%, I see what I'm saying, is a savings of 1%, 1.5%. On a $500,000 house, yes, I know that's $5,000, $7,500. But what if the prices do go up? What if that's not the correct forecast? What if the MBA forecast is the correct forecast, and on a $500,000 house, now you're spending $20,000 more to buy it instead of saving, $7,000? Those are not massive numbers, and they're not that big enough to make you decide or alter what's right for your family at a given time. Now, if you're an investor and you're looking short term, yeah, maybe there's a different issue there. But if it's your family looking to be in the right school for your kids for the next school year, if it's for you to be closer to your job, if it's for you to be out of the condo and into a more suburban living style, that should not be your determining factor. Make the decision, set your game plan, and execute. That's the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564, SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find that dream home before someone else does. Find out exactly what the market knows about your property. Find out what the county recorder says on it. So some terms for refinancing. We started this in the last segment. I figured I'd give you these terms so you'll understand them. Adjustable rate mortgage, it's also known as an ARM. This type of mortgage has an interest rate for a set period of time. During this period, the interest rate is lower. Once the initial period ends, the rate will adjust based on an index and will continue to adjust at set intervals. That's generally used when we are in an increasing interest rate environment, or there is a larger spread between the adjustable rate and the fixed rate. Right now, I am not recommending too many people to go into the adjustable rate mortgages because there's not enough savings to take on that time risk factor. Annual percentage rate, APR, this is either fixed or adjustable, and is the rate of interest that will be paid back to the mortgage lender. Amortization, this is the schedule for how the loan is intended to be repaid. Typically calculates the monthly breakdown of how much interest you pay and how much is paid on the amount borrowed. Closing costs, these are expenses or costs paid by the homeowner or home buyer during the mortgage process. Closing costs can range from attorney and recording fees to points, escrow, and title fees. Equity, this is the difference between the value of your home and the amount of your mortgage or lien. As the value of your home increases, the amount of the loan decreases, your equity will grow. Fixed rate mortgage. This type of mortgage has a set interest rate and loan term, typically ranging from 10 to 40 years. Origination fee. This is a fee paid by borrowers to lenders and generally includes an application fee, appraisal fee, and fees for subsequent and associated costs of the loan. Principal. This is the amount of money borrowed for the mortgage. The principal decreases as each mortgage payment is made, assuming it is a amortizing loan and not an interest-only loan. That is the information for you on these. Some terms, just a few terms for you to understand as you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets when we come back. Got some Your Credit Matters issues, 6 ways to prepare your finances for a recession, and a little story time with Ron. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRENMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Just a couple months ago, the economy was strong and the stock market was at record highs. With the spread of COVID-19 and uncertainty about the economy, now is a good time to prepare for the possibility of the economy tipping into recession. A recession means 2 or more quarters in a row of negative GDP growth. GDP is the total value of everything in the country produces. The negative growth tends to show itself with decreases in income, growing unemployment, and less consumer spending. The average length of a recession is 11 months. Some downturns can be shorter, but some can also be longer. The Great Recession lasted over 19 months. Yeah, over 19 months, not pleasant. Ow! Yeah. That was December 2007 to June 2009. Some are mild and some are severe. No one knows how much impact COVID-19 will have on the economy or how long it will last, but it is a good idea to be prepared for a recession, short or long, mild or severe. Here's how. Number one, we've talked to you about this in the past. Build up your emergency fund. An emergency fund should hold about 3 to 6 months of living expenses when there's talk of a potential recession. It's a good idea to increase your fund to a year of expenses. From a bank rate survey, 19% of Americans incurred substantial debt, and 15% said they or their partner lost their job during the Great Recession. Having an emergency fund can help during these situations so that there won't be a need to borrow money in case something unexpected happens. The first step is to look at your income and spending, most notably your fixed costs. Add up those bills and multiply that amount by the number of months you want to have available in your fund. Once you know the amount of money you'll need each month, contribute as much as you can each week into a savings account. Start to automate your savings so that you're basically paying your future self. Number two, figure out where your money is going. Like number one above, analyze your spending. Look at the categories you are spending your money on besides paying for bills. These spending categories could include food, transportation, healthcare, entertainment, or education. It is empowering and beneficial to know where your money is going. As you find out what categories you're spending on, it's the best also to set a budget. Many people use the 50-30-20 method. 50% of your income goes to necessary fixed costs. 30% goes to what you want, and 20% goes to savings. When you're concerned that a recession is coming, these numbers should change to percentages that will help you build an emergency fund. It's different for everyone. So there are no set amounts. Only you can determine how much you'll need each month. Get your credit ready for a recession. What? Why should you concern yourself with your FICO scores when preparing for a recession? Well, if you need to take out a loan, or if you're looking to purchase a home during a recession when home prices typically drop, lenders usually loan money to most reliable borrowers. Research shows that people who are more resilient to an economic downturn on average have a moderate mix of credit types, have lower credit card balances, have longer credit history, have fewer active accounts, are not actively searching for credit, have a history of paying their bills on time. Keep your eye on your credit reports and your FICO score frequently. Make sure your reports do not contain errors, that there's no fraud, and that your information is all up to date. Check out protecting your credit during the coronavirus outbreak for more information and a checklist of staying on top of your credit. Number 4, pay down your debt. The last thing you want while you're out of work or having trouble paying bills is your debt ballooning. Start paying down your high-interest debt now. Paying down your debt may also free up money that you can contribute to your emergency fund instead. There are 2 methods you can use to help pay down debt. If you want to minimize the total interest you'll pay, the avalanche method might be your best bet. Once you know the interest rate for each balance, make the minimum payments on all balances, but put any extra money towards the balance with the highest interest. Once that balance is eliminated, start paying more money on the balance with the next highest interest until all your debt has disappeared. If you want your balances to disappear completely, the snowball method may be best for you. Each month, pay the minimum on every card balance while at the same time putting your extra cash toward the lowest balance. Once that is paid off, use the money you would have used for that balance and pay the next highest balance. Number 5, keep building up your investments. While stock market declines are normal during a recession, it's important to continue contributing to your investment accounts and possibly not sell off your stocks. Why? Lower prices for stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, the asset classes of your accounts means you'll be buying your investment at sale prices. As an investor, you should think about the long-term effects of your decisions. Recessions won't last forever, so the stock market will eventually recover as it did after the Great Recession and earlier this year. You can benefit from the rebound if you continue to contribute to your investment accounts during economic downturns. Number 6, invest in your career. Just as important as investing in the stock market is investing in yourself. Keep an eye on how your employer, industry, and your job might fare in a recession. Know that industries might grow or remain stable during an economic downturn and the recovery that follows. Using this information, you can determine if any of these industries might be a good fit for you and if you'd enjoy working within them. Then get the education or training you need to make the change should you need or want to. Investing in yourself is a great way to ensure that whether or not there's a recession, you'll always be prepared for change. An important note to remember about recessions is that they end. Be prepared by following the 6 tips I mentioned can help you get through difficult times. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report. It is wrong. How do I know it's wrong? They all are. That's it. Every credit report I've ever seen, I've yet to see one that is error-free. They all have errors. It's just a matter of how deep they are. And I've seen credit reports. Obviously, I've told you this before. The highest credit you can get on a FICO mortgage report is 850. I've seen as high as an 834, and that report had errors on it as well. What makes you think that yours does not? Just throw that out there for your consideration. As always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here every day. to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.